Is Naya's man really who he says he is? We'll find out next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
TK said turn it up.
Yeah.
Come on, TK.
It's too low. I can't get into it. There you go. Hey now.
Welcome everybody to this episode of Total Divas. I'm so glad you're here with us. We're glad you're here with us. This was a really interesting episode, as well as we get to see more of Naya Jax. And I'm so ecstatic because this whole episode was pretty much focused of her, and that is something that I wish every single episode we get the chance to be able to see, like Alexa Bliss. Like, pretty much she has one big main segment on the show. Carmella, next week we're gonna see everything that's gonna happen with Big Cass, and then of course Maurice. So let's go back to it. Last week this is the second part of SummerSlam. Naya and Naomi go to a vocal. Well, before we actually continue to the show, I'm Anissa Barr. You can follow me on social media at Anissa Barr. I'm too excited for this episode. I'm so sorry. Where can they find you?
I'm Monique Loveless. She was super excited to get into it, but you can find me everywhere at Upfront with Mo.
My name is TK Trindad. You can find me on everything at TK Trindad.
And you can find Roger somewhere because he's not here. Okay. It's gonna be a great episode. I'm excited.
Beat Supreme is not here today.
No, but we're not gonna be able to get to have a lot of arguments tonight. So, but let's get into some arguments and dislikes and stuff.
Right.
So, Natty and Naomi go to a vocal coach in New York City. Natty is really taking this to heart, like legit heart, because what Lana said. And in a way, you have to look at it as a positive. That's really good that she's going to other sources to say, hey, you know what, let me at least try this out. Let me see if I really need this. And if I really don't, then who the hell really cares? So I like the fact that she was able to go do this. Naomi killed it. And then Natty just kept practicing and practicing. Have you guys experienced vocal coaching or anything like that?
Yeah, it's essentially like you have like singing, almost like singing lessons and using your diaphragm, and it's definitely good in carrying your voice, because you talk for a living and you don't know how to use your voice. You can strain it and then lose your moneymaker. So it's definitely good, and it's always good, as no matter what profession you're in, to do something to get better. If you feel like you're there, then somebody else is going to take your spot. So kudos for Natty for at least jumping on it.
Yeah, I think it's good that Natty did this. I feel like she won, even though she says that Lana's in her head. I'm glad that she took the opportunity to step her game up. Like, she's serious about being the women's champion. So for her to take these steps just to be even more, even better. I always say more better, but that's not correct. Even better at what she does. I mean, yeah, kudos to her. Yeah.
And then we find out later she's killing it in the game. So next we see Naya is with the Bellas, starting to open up a little bit more, not just towards the twins, but to the camera, to a little bit everybody else. And I think this is something that us wrestling fans are so used to seeing her in the ring, being dominant, being a heel, taking over. We get to see the sensitive side of her on Total Divas, which is something new and something fresh. And she's feeling very insecure. And she admits, I may seem not insecure on the outside, but really I am, because she's very scared to be rejected, just like everybody else in this world doesn't want to be rejected. And this got me to the point where I remember her doing an interview with Lillian Garcia, and she really opened up about her relationship. She was in an abusive relationship for a long period of time, and she's afraid to get back into the game. But to be able to say, hey, I'm representing women who plus size women, I should be able to feel confident. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a big deal. Now, you know, plus size women are starting to step up nowadays and really take reign. I mean, you have Ashley Graham, who's in regular fashion week, not plus size fashion week. She's in regular fashion week now for Michael Kors, for everybody. So I think this is very great. First of all, that the WWE has put a plus size woman on the show.
It's been a long, long time.
And to, you know, and for her to show those insecurities, I feel like helps a lot of women, because a lot of women, I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but as in fashion myself, over 65% of women are plus size. So that's more than half of the women population. And a lot of people don't know that because we're always pushing skinny, 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 skinny.
Yeah.
But I am very proud of her, of, you know, speaking up about her insecurities, at the same time just shedding light on what I feel like plus size women go through. So that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You TK?
There's just a lot of things, because what you have to remember too, and she has that experience, but every, like when the Bells were talking about their experience, like every woman, based on the society that we're in, we're always ridiculed. You know, from a young age, you have the Disney, then you have the magazines, then you have this and you have that. And it's like, no matter what size you are or what shape or whatever, it's just kind of like you have to exude that confidence. And the fact that she was in, you know, an abusive relationship means that the confidence wasn't there to begin with. So the fact that she's on this platform and she can show other women, no matter what size they are, that, you know, you're here, you can do it. You can, you know, you can be that, is definitely an amazing thing.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of plus size mannequins like at Target now, or Target if you want to be classy Hollywood. But yeah, I've heard people say it around here. I'm like, Target, what is that? They're like, oh, Target. I'm like, then just say Target.
Yeah,
what
but
the hell?
it's Target.
Oh my gosh, no.
I don't understand.
But
I live here and I don't even understand what the heck
that
it
is true, because like I said, a lot of people don't know, 65%, over half of the women population are
But what's your definition of plus size?
technically plus size.
What's your definition of plus
The
size?
definition of
Like,
plus
what's
size,
the numbers?
the 14 and over. 14, the size 14 and over, because vanity sizing. So it used to be a 12, but now technically plus size is a 14. So 14 and over, most women are about a 16, honestly.
But isn't the sizes different too, from like Marilyn Monroe to, because I think she was like
vanity sizing. That's what vanity
so
sizing
like
is.
it's shrunk over the years. So like you should be this size. It's just essentially a number.
Yeah.
But based off of everything, now they have like double zeros, which wasn't something 20 years ago.
Yeah, so technically that's what vanity sizing is. So so technically when Marilyn Monroe was an 8, she was probably really maybe like a 6. And maybe squeezing into a 4. But now with vanity sizing, even though it says a 14, it's like actually you're a little bit bigger.
Wait, can you explain to me what vanity sizing is?
Vanity sizing is exactly what it is. It's like, you know how you're vain and you always want to be a smaller size than what you truly are.
Okay.
So that's what vanity sizing is. It's just a cover of size, basically.
See, but then that in itself does a disservice. So, for instance, you have women who are bigger sizes, but they're healthy.
Yeah.
And you also have women who are bigger sizes and they're not healthy.
Yes.
So if you legitimately, if you're healthy, could be a size 14,
Yes.
but now you're an 18,
Yes.
but in reality you're a 20, that's an issue.
Yeah. And that's why they do it, because I don't know, because then you see you have a Serena, and then you have like Naya, like they're obviously a thicker woman just because of the way that they're built. They're obviously a thicker woman, but in shape.
Yeah.
And on the healthier, I would think on the healthier side, because they work out every day. They have that sport. They're in sports, like, so yeah. So Naya could be a size 16, but in all reality, a real 16 is probably like could be an 18, right, really, or you know. So it just all depends on maybe like stores you go to, what you decide to do, because it could be women's, it could be juniors, it could be, you know, any. Those are two different. So yeah.
Is it kind of like when you go to Victoria's Secret or an Aries or a bra place, and they measure your size, and they say you're really ABCD, but you're really below the letter. Is it kind of like that?
So.
But it also depends on, because they measure you, so it's a little bit different. That's a little bit more
Because
exact
I know
with that one.
Victoria's Secret lies.
You know how you go into a store and you can go into New York and Company. You know what New York Company?
Yeah, of course.
You can go in New York Company and you may be a size 4. But when you go to Fashion Nova, you're a size 10 or 8. You may be probably like a 6 or an 8. That's where they kind of get you.
Okay, like the measurements or something.
It has to do
but
with
but also in the fashion world, I feel like they kind of like certain fashion companies, they trick your mind saying, oh, you're a 10, but really you're like an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be that.
But moving on to the fashion world, because pretty much this whole episode felt like a fashion show. But continuing on, so we see Nikki and Brie talk about how Brie wants to get back into the WWE. She kind of feels like, hey, why are you getting calls to do these appearances? You're not even wrestling. And I don't get to. And Nikki's like, well, maybe it's because you're a mom. I don't know. But you can always ask. And I think Brie was very, like, obviously she was very nervous to be able to ask, hey, like, I still want, even though I'm a mother, I still want to do this. And we've seen women in the past, recently now, who are mothers, who are in the wrestling ring right now. Mickie James, Maria Kanellis, Maurice, I'm pretty sure they're going to be wrestling yet again. Eve Torres, I'm pretty sure she's going to probably come back to a Royal Rumble appearance. So, and then she also mentioned that she went to go talk to Mark Carrano. He was like, heck yeah, come on back, give us a script. And when the twins said about, like, I want to come back around Royal Rumble towards WrestleMania, I remember one of the twins posted Royal Rumble, #Royal Rumble recently. So what are your thoughts on them returning to the Royal Rumble? Do you think they're ready? Are you ready to see them? Do you want to see them?
Oh
That's probably more of a question for you.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people do want to see them. One, it doesn't seem like she gained like a ridiculous amount of weight as far as with the pregnancy. So all it really does is take some dedication to get back into the training mode. And it shouldn't take her, maybe 6 weeks at most to get back into that type of training. So the one thing is to make sure that she's in that training, because we're going to obviously see it in the ring compared to other women. So that's one thing. She comes back and she's not in the greatest of shape. We're going to notice that, and that's going to be an issue. But yeah, 30 women doing, like, it would feel like, and I know people don't think some of them can wrestle and whatever, but it would feel like it would be, to not have them in the Royal Rumble, that wouldn't be a good idea. I feel like they both shouldn't even. It just seems like the part of like the package.
It's like they should. Both of them should be.
I want to see the Bellas no matter what. So,
well, girl, you'll be able to. Royal Rumble comes around.
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
I have to watch that. Yes.
So let's go back to Naya again. Naya meets. They're ready for the Sex and the City show. They're all excited. Nikki's explaining on who is who. I don't know, but you guys were laughing because I've never seen the show.
Have you seen the show Girls?
No.
Oh,
me either.
You see, Girls is like Sex and the City.
Is it?
Yeah,
I need to watch
different version of Sex and the City. Yeah, same concept.
Yeah. Okay.
So Naya's very excited. She invites the fireman dude.
By the way, Naya is beautiful.
Oh
Naya,
my gosh, I loved her makeup.
Naya is beautiful, right? The outfit she had on was not good. Like, I really want her to call me, and I will do some justice for her. MoniqueLoveless.com. Email me, because
it feels like she's just trying to like cover up.
I feel like she's so insecure about, her being around smaller girls, and she has the personality. You can tell she has the personality. She has the energy. She just needs to see herself in something that looks amazing to bring that confidence out. And this party was great, but I still I wasn't feeling her outfit. I still feel it made her feel uncomfortable. Like she needs some color. Wasn't at her full potential.
Right. So,
but she said she got styled by whoever it was.
Yeah, Ashby.
Well, the girl that styled her for her Hall of Fame dress. So that's why she went back to her, which makes sense. So she having a good time. A lot of people there. A few WWE superstars always on Total Divas.
I love
Dolph
Trinity's
Ziggler is on
outfit.
like every single season. Literally every single season we see him. Sheamus, he's on here and there, which was cool. And then her boy toy shows up. And
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Everybody is named John or Jonathan.
Yeah, I know. I noticed it's a very common thing when around wrestling.
So weird.
So we see him. She's very blushy, very excited. I was so excited for her before we found out the news, but I was so excited for her, so happy for her because we all at least feel insecure at one point in our lives about when it comes to dating or being with somebody or whatever the case may be. And just seeing her glowing and excited made me feel very happy for her, because it's like listening to her story and now seeing this, it's like, oh my gosh, she did it. And that's a good accomplishment. So what'd you think about the girls being giddy of her talking to this guy? Like, do your friends do that when you guys go out and you're like, oh, go see a man?
No.
No, does that?
I mean, I'm different. Like, Are
you single?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why TK be sitting up here talking about everybody and having babies and relationships and coming to the WWE? Can we get a man to take his shirt off? She's not even single.
Yeah, but it's also communication, and he knows who he's with.
All right.
No, I hope he's not watching this.
Yeah, he watches.
Oh, he does?
Oh.
He's going to go home and be okay with...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like, wait. What are you saying? Like, it's not okay for like a significant other to talk about like?
No, she's saying he knows who he's with. So
yeah.
She said she's herself.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I honestly believe in communication and not giving.
Are you monogamous?
Maybe not. I honestly believe about communication and letting the person know who you are and not giving the person the representative of who they think you should be, because that's how you get into problems. Then you marry the person you thought you were going to marry, and then the representative doesn't want to work anymore, and now you have some deadbeat.
Representative.
Does he get okay? Does he get like jealous when you talk about like, oh man, he's hot or whatever?
No, because he has carte blanche to do that.
Are y'all official?
Yeah.
So when you got together, were your friends there? Were they like? I
don't bring friends into my relationship. You look at my social media.
When y'all
very
first
smart,
met,
yeah.
like when Naya met Jonathan today, like were your friends like that? Were they like?
No,
oh,
we don't roll like that.
Really?
So not like middle school, high school.
No, because
I don't think it's middle school or high school. I don't. She always says this about her friends. I'm sorry. I have close friends. My friends are like my family because me and my family don't really get along like that. So of course I go to my friends like they're my sisters, and I'm the only child, so I go to my friends like they're sisters. And
see,
stuff.
I grew up with my mother telling me like, your business is your business. Like whatever happens in this house, we don't. Yeah, so I don't really.
Outside.
Yeah, so my friends know as much as I want them to know, and if they want to talk to me about their problems, then cool. But I'm not gonna dispense their problems anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
So.
No, I wouldn't dispense my friends' problems anywhere else, but I definitely, I saw that face. The shade over here is so real right now. But anyway.
I was definitely happy for Naya.
Yes.
And I'm just a private person, and I don't tell anyone my business.
I feel like her friends were the regular friends. Like, we watched Sex in the City.
You would definitely be happy for somebody who, like, it came out of a relationship or they're low self-esteem and you're finally seeing them coming into themselves.
Yeah.
So you definitely be happy for that.
So they celebrated her.
Yeah. But then it also, makes it kind of like, you know, I could see where she felt like, okay, these people are watching me, because you look around and you have like 10 pairs of eyes looking at you.
Well, they just want to make sure that she's happy. Yeah, like your friends want to make sure that you're happy. That's what I believe.
She was definitely happy because they left in the elevator together.
Y'all think they really left together?
It could have meant that she walked him out.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that she went to
that's
the room with him.
too.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think she lied on camera, though. I think she did go home with him.
Or they could have sat on the bench and talked for like 2 hours. That happens too.
Well, because she did say, "I don't want the cameras."
It's summertime in New
around.
York. You can definitely do that.
Yeah,
I mean, she did. I mean, she did mention she doesn't want the cameras around, so that is a good suggestion. Maybe she didn't want the cameras around and wanted to get to know him.
She definitely kissed him.
Maybe,
but
she definitely kissed him.
That's her prerogative. But if the thing is, she probably didn't want the cameras around to get to know him, who he really is, instead of
obviously she didn't find all that out.
Clearly she didn't, so she was doing something else because she didn't figure that out.
So we, the next day, the girls are obviously rattling at her. Like, did you kiss him? Did you go to bed with him? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I didn't. And we'll never know if it's real or not. But
I highly doubt
you
she
know
did.
what?
I think she kissed him.
She kissed him, but I don't think
she probably didn't.
And
go
nothing wrong
home
with kissing
him.
somebody. But shout out to Nikki Bella, because that yellow looks really good on her. I liked her yellow shoes, her purse. I liked it. I love it. I think yellow's good for her. Good color on her. So the girls are out to lunch, and then they
Google him.
They Google him. Did you Google your boyfriend?
No.
Do you Google people you date?
No.
Do you?
Really? Do you?
No, because I know them.
Oh my gosh. I go through
have a
everything.
conversation with them.
IG, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. I go through it. Like,
Oh, girl,
I
you
need to
crazy.
know. No. I need to know who I'm getting. Like,
That's why you ask them questions.
That's why.
though.
Yeah, that's why you go.
Not everybody is honest.
Yeah, but then that's the thing. If you ask them enough questions, they're gonna catch themselves up, and then you'll be like, "No, you told me this, whatever."
Right.
And I because I ask a lot of questions.
I want to form my own opinion on my own time, and I am like Bree. I Google.
Oh.
Well, Bree
search.
Googled him, and we find out. Well, you guys were right. You guys were like, "Oh, he's gay," and I'm like, "No, he can't be gay."
But he's not gay.
But
So
he's
we were
not
right.
gay.
He's not gay. Well, you guys said it before.
But we're not
mentioned
right.
it.
But
He's not gay.
we weren't right.
No.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, see, this is the issue though. So say he wasn't really ready, because it seemed like he was kind of shy too, right?
Yeah.
So maybe say they did go downstairs and they were talking, but he was like, I need to tell her, but he's not ready to tell her. Now by Googling this person, that could have actually hypothetically been, he might have told her 2 dates later. You know what I'm saying? You almost giving the benefit of the doubt. Some people are, a-holes. But he might have wanted to tell her, but he's like waiting for that opportunity to tell her.
Right.
But now she figured out on her own, and now she can make her own assumption because we're in control of our own, like how we want to react.
Right.
I feel like that gives her the opportunity to make her own decisions on her own
And she
time.
might have cut loose that situation, and it might have been something that would have been beneficial. Or if not, at least a good friend.
Or maybe like he wasn't ready to tell her because this was probably all fresh and new, because he did mention.
And there's cameras in his face.
and then he did mention, I've been single for a very long time.
Well, clearly he didn't tell her like the cameras were off either.
You never know.
How much information do you divulge on a first date, though?
I know, man.
I mean, if you're a porn star.
Wait, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's a porn star. There's nothing wrong with that. I've met a few porn stars. They're nice people I've ever met.
Nobody said there was anything wrong with it, but what I'm saying, if you're a porn star, I feel like that should be something in the conversation, because if you do accidentally Google me or decide to go home and like look me up, then I need to be able to divulge this information because I know it's already out there.
Right. Yeah, but I feel like it depends on the situation. If she was more of a confident being, because she was kind of like, you could tell that she was nervous. So I think if he were to tell her that in the situation, she might have just hightailed it the other direction, told all of her friends, all the cameras were there. That would have been a very situation that he didn't necessarily might not have wanted, opposed to he might have told her the next time they spoke to each other.
Right.
But he didn't even get the chance to tell her. So I
We
guess
don't know
at this
that, though.
point
Maybe
it didn't
he
matter.
did.
Well, no, because she Googled him. She didn't know, and Naya didn't know.
Yeah. Well,
So clearly he didn't tell her. So since he didn't tell her, she found out the information anyway. through her friends instead of being able to find out the information on her. I'd rather for somebody to be like, yeah, I already know that about him, and I decided to do this, instead of saying, oh my gosh, all my friends just found out about this and I'm just finding out about it too. Now I have to look cool, at least keep it together in front of them. But your mind is going to be on it the whole entire time.
And then she said she's not going to date anymore. So it's just like,
see, that just, honesty in the beginning. At least with something like that, you're on the internet. Like, with something like that, you just need to be upfront.
So what if you what if you're searching somebody and they don't have anything on social media? Do you just not date them because you can't find anything?
No, and then I'm going to go into it, like you said, I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to see where it goes. I'm going to, get the information that I want and see if I want to take it further. But if you're on the internet, I need to see your life before, because
live performance.
People your life.
Oh, okay.
People will say stuff, but then you go on their Instagram and it's totally different, and it's like, or you Google them and like porn pops up or whatever, and
really sure how they work.
But he did mention that. Well, they didn't. Naya mentioned like he looked really, really young when he did that. So
it's safe to assume that he probably did porn younger, and now he's a firefighter, and now he's getting his life together.
And the struggle was probably real back then. Usually,
it wasn't that real. He just made some money. He could have worked at Target and made some money.
Well, shout out to him making money.
He just wanted luxury real.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, it was that episode. No, moving on. We found out that, hey, it happens. So we finally get to see the final match of how Natty and Naomi, pretty much their in-ring beef. And it's really, really amazing to see how when they win the championship, we get to see the backstage, how they're all into it. And in my head, I was like, oh, wow, like John Cena is really watching a women's match. Like I would think like, oh, I got to go take a shower. I got to go do this because he's a busy man. But it goes to show how amazing those Smackdown women are backstage, and Raw as well, because they were all so tuned into this match. And I think that, in my opinion, backstage, it's respect to watch everyone's match.
I don't think they're watching everybody's match.
Well, you never know. Maybe.
I mean, I think with that, Natty's been in the game, like she said, for 15 years.
Right.
And I think people respect the hard work, but I don't necessarily think that that's doled out for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what, it's like a team.
Yeah, it was Natty and Trend, so I feel like they both that was a match to watch. That's how I felt. Yeah. It was a match to watch because they're all invested into a friendship with them. So, of course, they want to see.
And that's what I like about this business, is because my favorite part when it comes to rivalries or whatever is when they're actually best friends in real life, legit like best friends, and they have this amazing chemistry in the ring together, because nobody knows you more well than your significant other, your best friend, and your family. Pretty sure. So that was I thought it was a good connection. I just think that overall she did work hard. I like that we're able to see not only we even saw TJ. We don't ever see TJ.
Yeah, we haven't seen TJ.
TJ didn't want to be seen in it either, so.
Yeah, we haven't seen TJ since that whole Natty and TJ divorce thing.
Divorce?
Yeah, she said she wanted to get a divorce.
Yeah, she wanted to get a divorce, and TJ after that season never returned.
No, he broke his neck.
Yeah, but
but the last time we saw him on Total Divas,
when he broke his neck.
He was on there all the time, and then when she said
it's not working out.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah. I just okay. So Natty wins, hurrah, and that's the end. But next week we get to see the Rusev and Lana go search a house in Bulgaria.
When are they gonna have time to go to a house in Bulgaria? Like,
they find some time.
Where is it though? Is it in Europe or
so.
Somewhere over there?
I'll look it up.
But we get to see them searching for a home, And Lana is a total farmer girl because she lives in Tennessee and that's what she wants to be, and that's totally okay.
Well, we never got to celebrate Natty's.
It's by Istanbul and Budapest, so in Europe.
Yeah.
Albania. In that close to those
Okay.
areas. I don't know. I mean, it could be one of those things where you have like the investment for like, you know, you have like a family home and then you have somebody else take care of it. Cause I don't know when they're going to have time. Like people have maybe 2 or 3 days, if that much. It's usually like 1 or 2. So how are they going to travel 12
It's
hours?
probably his family home. He probably wants
he's
to
probably
get
gonna
his
get like a family home or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what Brie and Brian are doing. They
But that's
have
in the U.S.
Right, but I mean,
3 or 4 hours or 5 hours is different from 12 and then a turnover. And
well, when they do the European tour, like every year for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they have a home to go to or something.
I also think too when some superstars conveniently get injured, that's kind of their vacation time too.
Well, speaking of injured, we get to see Big Cass. Finally, Big Cass and Carmella, we've speculated a few weeks that they might have broken up, but E is letting us see what really happened backstage between them, and maybe this is gonna be the time that we get to see, did they really break up? Are they gonna show it on the show, or is it just she's just doing it on Instagram and they really got married and this big old, you know, they got engaged, whatever. But
I don't know.
you don't know.
There's so many different, like, it just depends on, you know, what type of person you are. Based off of that, you know, you're in the limelight. And I remember Trinity was saying that it's like you just want some stuff to hold back to be like just part of you. So if you put it up on Instagram, like, you know, we're together and we're doing this and we're doing that and we're doing that, it's like the weirdest thing when somebody comes up to you and they're able to like recite, like, you know, your life to
By
you,
photos.
and it's just kind of like weird because it's just it happened to me a few weeks ago, and I was like, she's like, oh yeah, you were on this show, and then now you're here, and I'm like, and I'm just in the CVS trying to buy some alcohol, you know, and it's just weird.
So somebody came up to you and
somebody
said, hey.
came. It was the cashier at CVS, and she was like looking at me, and it's like maybe like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or something like that, and I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. And then she's like, oh, you were on this radio show. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, now you're working for TMZ. And I'm like, she's like, oh, yeah, and you do, and she's like listing off all these things. And it was just very, and again, I'm not.
Invading.
Yeah, and I'm not even on that level, but
Invasive.
it just felt like, okay, like people are actually watching this
what
stuff.
you do.
And I'm very selective on what I put up anyway. But the fact that she was able to lift the stuff going back 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, okay.
It felt a little invasive.
Yeah, so I can feel like, it could be one of two situations. Either one, she broke up, or two, she just doesn't want people in her business.
Right.
And, you know,
I could see that.
you
now
just
that
kind of
you
change
made
your
that
social media a little bit.
perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends. I don't know. We haven't seen a lot of her, and we're like, what, 9 episodes in?
Well, there's a lot of people on the cast, too. It's kind of hard to...
Yeah, but they keep showing Lana and Natty, like, okay.
Well, because at the end of the day, it's what people want the drama.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like, how
true.
often are we seeing Trinity? Like, you know, she's either usually the scapegoat for somebody because they know she's pretty level-headed, or you see her and John doing something funny, but you never seen them. If her and John were fighting all the time, guaranteed she would get more camera time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
So it's
No,
just
I
kind of
get
like,
it, yeah.
it's one of those sad things where it's just, that's the
Drama
way.
is
Yeah.
what brings eyes.
Yeah. So, a little bit more of Total Divas. I want to bring this up. Excuse me. We just heard breaking news this past week that Miz and Maurice are going to do a docuseries
For U.S. Network, six episodes.
for the USA Network. Oh, I thought it was E. Interesting. On how they're going to be parents.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested on if this is going to be a reality show, like after this docuseries. Like, how are they going to do it? Is this legit going to be a reality show? Because we've mentioned before who's the next in line for their own reality show. We got the Bellas have their own reality show, but now Total Divas, they can expand on anybody to do reality show. And I think Miz and Maurice are the next people in line to do this. So what are your thoughts on being able to see this documentary? Are you going to watch it?
I'm definitely going to watch it. I love Maurice. And of course, The Miz is just
Very fashionable.
Well, not that, but he's good for reality. I mean, he's been doing it for years. He knows it. He knows how to do it. He knows how to garner an audience. Like, so I think it's going to be entertaining. I think it's definitely going to be entertaining. I'm going to watch it.
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be entertaining because you're going to see somebody that works beyond 9 to 5. So they don't punch in at whatever and finish whatever and then they go home. Like, they're traveling and he's traveling and now she's home and she's preparing for this baby. So probably some of the stuff she had to do on her own. This is her first child. There's so many things that are happening. Probably her family, most of her family's in Canada. So there's all these little elements that definitely are going to make it interesting.
Yeah, I think they're going to add more. Her mom.
Her mom was her mom was interesting. So I think there's all these elements that we haven't seen that, are going to be put into play. And they're in, like, Los Angeles, which is
and like Maurice is a beast. Like, even though she's a mom, she still does real estate. She's a real estate investor. Like,
she's a hustler.
They have a lot going on.
See, I know that they flip houses, and I want their own reality show on flipping houses.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to come.
Maurice is making that happen. Yeah, she's going to make that happen.
When they have a little bit of time, I definitely see that.
Yeah, and I think, I really hope when we see this docuseries, it goes back on when they see the revealing of their gender.
Yeah, Jay Ruiz just said that. I hope it's not one of those corny ones, like the ones that have been the current ones for the last 6 months where they pop a balloon and they do this. It's just
no. Miz actually
gender reveals.
Oh my God.
No, the Miz actually recorded this.
It's girl. Like, what? It's a boy. Like, why do we have to do the whole?
I mean, I like gender reveals. What's wrong with a gender reveal?
Did you see his video on his Instagram? He posted obviously months ago. And there was a camera crew there at their party. It was around, obviously, it was in October. He was dressed as Prince. She was dressed as, what's the blonde? Cinderella. And
yeah.
Do you remember that? So yeah, hopefully we get to see more of that scenario.
Just not the cheesy stuff, please.
I love gender reveals.
Oh my gosh! Or they're laying down and there's like
reveal.
a big balloon between her legs and they pop it and it's blue.
Oh my gosh! What is wrong with the gender reveal?
I love
gender reveals.
It's not. I love gender reveals too, but then the extreme of it is just.
It's like you have to have a party for
because you're celebrating. You're celebrating.
Yeah,
we never get the opportunity to really celebrate. Now people are celebrating.
That's why it's called a baby shower.
With the gender reveals, it gets everybody involved on a positive note. Promposals and the gender reveals.
What's a promposal?
We already had this conversation. You know, where they propose to go to prom with me type thing.
What the hell? Okay.
You said MTV had a whole show about it.
Oh, they did.
Or
okay,
something
you're
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I love it because it's like celebrating on a positive note, and I love a little like Let me tell you, I'm ready for somebody to come and sweep me off my feet and be in glorious heaven. Like, I'm all about the cheesy stuff.
I love cheesy stuff too. I celebrate my birthday for 6 weeks. I'm just not a fan.
That's not cheesy.
I'm not a fan of these big
all about
balloons
TK.
And so I have charity events for that too, by the way. So it's not always about me. But I have big balloons and all that stuff. Like, it just seems like too much.
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's cute.
Well, we know what you're gonna have. She's gonna have a gender reveal party.
I'm gonna have a big gender reveal. I'm gonna come in on a camel and have like a
make sure
and
I am not there.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be all the way
my
out.
God.
They're gonna be like, she is doing the
Don't
most.
bother invite me to the wedding either. I was not tonight. Send you a gift.
Oh my gosh, just make sure it's a good gift.
Yeah, it's weddings are just for the people. Like, it's just for the two people, and so now you have to sit through it all, and it's just like, oh my God.
No, I kind of feel that way. When I get married, I want to have a small ceremony, but I feel like, with the gender reveals and stuff like that, that's major. I hope that they did it. I hope that they went. Maurice went all the way out. Okay?
They did go all out. You didn't see the clip?
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited.
Follow
you
them.
would not get that from me. You'd
I
be
mean,
like,
of course they have a
babies
girl.
too. Yeah, I had a baby 2 years ago. Surprise.
Oh my God. Oh my
not get that from me.
I can't. No, I can't see.
I'm lost at this moment.
I can't. No, I can't with her. I just can't. She's gonna be like, yeah, I have a 2-year-old.
Do you?
No,
I'm just saying.
Don't
That's
lie.
how I do. Like, I'm not gonna do all that stuff. It's just.
I think I know Maurice went all the way out, so that is exciting because I think
to
that
sum it
is
up, we are
amazing.
excited for the show, and it seems like
Yes.
all
Yeah.
three of us will probably
Yeah.
watch the show.
Yes,
We'll probably watch the show. You'll have babies. You might have babies.
I'm having 5. That's a definite.
Okay, you'll have 5 babies.
You want 5 kids?
Yeah.
They're all gonna be
That's
athletes
a
running
whole
around.
basketball team.
Yeah, it's an empire.
Oh my
You want to
gosh.
come over to my house if the world ends because we'll
I'm
save
only
you.
having 2 gender reveal parties, if that.
I won't have any because I can't have kids. So, if you want to continue this conversation, please comment down below. We want to hear from you, your thoughts on this episode, your opinions. You listen to our opinion, so we want to listen to your opinion. Rate us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars if you, because it's Total Divas, and pretty much like this video, punch it in the face because that's what we do here because we're on Total Divas and it's a wrestling show. You guys can follow me at Anissa Barr on all social media platforms. Where can I? Oh, by the way, Xbox 12360. Watch that today because that was a good episode. It's Wednesday. Where can I find you?
I guess it's Wednesday. I'm Monique Loveless, and you can find me on all platforms at Upfront with Mo. Also, Naya, make sure you hit me up, MoniqueLoveless.com. I am a fashion stylist.
You can find me on everything at TK Trindad. I will be running the LA Marathon March 17th, so if you want to donate money, I'm going to be raising money for water pumps in Africa. You can do that. It's under a little byline. Other than that, you can see me everywhere.
She finally got to go after me this time, yes.
And then we'll see you next week on Total Divas After Show. Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.